Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, I'm Michael.
This is Cleve.
And we're Friendship Supreme. Hey guys, thanks for joining us back here for part 2 Avengers Endgame review. Hopefully you enjoy. So they all have the stones. And then they
come back,
put them together.
Yeah. I thought that maybe they were going to have to use the giant elf to make a gauntlet. I didn't realize that they were just like, beep, 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 and put it in Stark Tech.
They did.
I thought that it had to be a special
I thought it was
thing that held it. Like Stormbreaker and...
But it wasn't.
Whatever. Okay, so...
Starked. He got starked.
Yep. So, make the gauntlet. Thanos comes. I don't know how anybody lived that.
Well, he snapped his finger first. Everybody came back, and then...
Right. Hulk put on the gauntlet.
Hulk determined he was the only one that could do it. Puts it on. Snaps his finger. Screams a little bit. And he's fine.
Yeah. He makes it. His arm was real small the entire time.
Yeah, his arm's jacked up forever now. And apparently attempted to bring back Natasha, or Black Widow, and could not do that because that's not possible.
Which I don't see why not. The stones have to be responsible for it, or are they not powerful enough to... I also thought we were going to super explain the soul realm.
Yeah, we didn't touch that at all.
Maybe for another movie. Who knows?
Perhaps. Maybe in the next Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So then Thanos comes in his ship, levels the place. Nobody should have lived.
Yeah, it was... especially Ant-Man. Like, Ant-Man didn't have his mask on.
Yeah.
Didn't have anything. And a missile literally just hit in
zero.
front of him and exploded. So, it instantly should have been dead. I don't understand how he got his helmet on or how he became small or any of that. It's bullcrap. He's dead. In fact, yeah, no, I agree. Most of them are dead.
But they're not.
But they're not.
And then we lead to the triplet fight scene,
which was really cool. I really enjoyed. So you had Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man fighting him, and it was amazing. And that's where you, like you said, the really important part was that Captain America.
Before you get to it, I think that the conversation of the three of them was nice. Okay, he doesn't have the stones. We're gonna keep it that way. And, they're like, we're probably going to have to take him out. Thor's like, cool. Glad to hear. Gets Stormbreaker and Mjolnir, which was cool. And then the whole braided beard, and then
He looked less homeless.
Yeah. But he still was pretty...
Yeah, still. Yeah.
The fight scene between the three of them versus
pretty
them,
good.
which I think is nice because first Avengers started with the fight of the three of them. And then it's going to, it kind of... doesn't end right then, but it ends with the fight of the three of them. Thanos starts getting the upper hand, and then you were going to say something.
Oh, yeah, no. We see that Captain America is worthy enough to hold Mjolnir, which is a big deal.
Huge deal, because until that point, only 2 people had done it.
Correct. Vision and
maybe
Thor.
Odin?
I think it was just Vision and Thor, because it was made for Thor. I don't think that Odin would have ever held it.
He put the little inscription on it, remember? When he, whispered into it in the first Thor movie?
That's technically what put the spell of
gotcha.
Who's worthy, so be the person who wields it or whatever. Sorry, I didn't quote the exact one. But yeah, that. But yeah, so then Captain America starts using Mjolnir and...
With the shield,
and in fact he uses them in combination of each other, which was kind of cool when he threw the shield and then threw the hammer at the shield to create a sound wave. And then
he started wrecking shop with it too.
Yeah,
because for someone who'd never
never used it before, he's just wielding lightning, which was crazy.
Military trained.
Yeah, that's what it was. No, I mean that was the only thing I thought. So when that actual scene was happening, I don't know how you felt about it, because when that scene was happening, Thor looks over and was like, "All right," and it gets pumped, and I thought at that moment that was Loki. Because he would have had an understanding or a knowledge of how Mjolnir at least worked in some sense, like in the Asgardian sense. How Captain America was just slinging lightning everywhere was, in a controlled manner. I thought the moment that Mjolnir came to him, Thor was like, oh my god, that's my brother. and was like, hold on a second, that's my brother. And then like we'd see somewhere else Captain America was doing something different. But it wasn't. It was Captain America slinging lightning like Zeus.
Well, I mean, yeah, the lightning was the only part that I could see him not understanding. I mean, again, he was in the military, so weapons isn't a
using a
crazy
weapon
thing to
wasn't
him.
crazy. It was more just like I said, him being able to call down lightning and then throw it was like, oh, this is a new power. But that was an amazing scene, really cool. Captain America gets the crap beaten out of him, and shield
breaks
broken
the shield.
in half.
Yeah, breaks the shield before he got the hammer. Actually,
Yeah, no, not before. That's when he threw it. It was whole because it wouldn't have returned. Like it.
oh, right.
No, but yeah, you're right. He gets the shield broken. And then like kind of that whole I'm beaten up, he's bloody, he's dirty, and he's just kind of looking at this whole army of Thanos's and kind of like that moment of oh crap, this is it. And
But he gets up and he tightens the shield like to get back in the fight. I don't know if you saw the gash across his arm. That's why he tightened it because he was bleeding out.
couldn't hold it.
Yeah, so he just tightened it up and got ready for the fight.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
then,
if this movie proved anything, it's that Captain America is still a badass. Like, he just is an awesome character. Real stand up, always peppy, always willing to scrap. And so then you see him kind of facing down literally an entire army, and is quickly reminded that they had completed their mission of unsnapping everybody back to existence.
he hears Sam Wilson in the ear.
Yeah, he hears Sam Wilson in his ear, which is weird because, to him, Sam's been dead for 5 years.
I mean, I guess the comms are the comms, right? You continue to use the same ones you've had.
Yeah, no, definitely.
They came back in their clothes.
Yeah. It was conveniently they came back with all the stuff that they had previously, so, everybody was fully armored at that point. But Wong is somehow... Wong has... who's an amazing character, by the way, because he created enough portals for everybody.
I assumed that it was him and the other
And, the
trainee
students.
peoples.
I assumed it was just him because Doctor Strange looked at him and said something. He goes, "What, are you expecting more?"
Right.
But anyway,
Also, his name is Benedict Wong.
I know his real name is Benedict Wong, and then in the film his name is Wong, and he plays with another person named Benedict.
Yeah.
Yes, Benedict Wong. No, he's reminded that all these people all of a sudden start appearing. So then you see everybody, which is that really heart pumping moment.
The Guardians
Everybody's
of all of Wakanda.
Yeah, I appreciate that just armies of people showed up. All of the Asgardians that apparently disappeared. There's a couple of ones I wasn't sure that I understood. I know, because you saw 3 portals open and 3 armies coming through. Mm-hmm. I could see Asgardians.
There were some up top too.
The ships. Who were the ships coming in? Because Wakanda didn't have that many piloted ships. There were a couple, but not a fleet. Do we know if the Nova Corps showed up? Like, is it, what I mean?
Maybe.
Because that would tie in with Guardians, possibly. Mm-hmm. But you have all of these, like I said, I know Wakanda, and we can say that the Asgardians came through, but then there was another army that I don't even know.
Well, then there was Doctor Strange's army.
Oh, okay. So they had Doctor Strange's army. Because
they all did the little hand thingy.
Which I appreciated their whole little group. Then kept building shields above them and did all kinds of cool things.
Yeah, I'd have to look at it again to go really into who was there, the type of ship, and all that stuff.
It was a really, really big fight. I imagine it cost a lot of money, but it was absolutely worth it. I think it was all the fan.
Oh, and then Pepper.
Pepper Potts showing up in her rescue outfit was really cool.
And she showed up with people too, but I can't remember who.
I thought she came in by herself.
Maybe.
Because she would have already existed.
Right.
Because remember, so there was a big thing.
I just thought somebody came through the portal with her, but I honestly can't remember.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She didn't come through a portal. She flew there. Yeah, she flew there. So that was the big thing, was that when Tony Stark said, okay, we're going to do the snap, he said, do the snap, but do not undo anything that happened in the last 5 years. All I want you to do is bring back those people. Don't change what already happened, because he wanted to keep his daughter Morgan and keep his relationship with Pepper and everything. So she would have still been alive. She happened to have found the outfit in the garage because he never ended up giving it to her, and it was a joke about how she never wears what he makes her, and here she comes in a rescue outfit.
Yeah, he said, "Don't worry, she never wears anything I buy her."
Yeah. But yeah, everybody showed up. Only person you see, Quill gets to see Gamora again, but unfortunately, it's not the Gamora he knows. So that's a real awkward scene.
You get the Avengers Assemble, but I've got to say, we kind of undersold it.
Yeah,
he yells Avengers and then whispers Assemble, and I don't know how anybody in the back is supposed to hear that. That should have been a war cry.
Yeah, it was satisfying to hear it though.
I mean, well, yeah, because they teased it for 11 years, but
yeah, you could have screamed it. We would have been okay with that.
He could have been up top where
because at that
it
moment,
would echo down.
Like that should have happened, and this would have been the one time in the entire history of my life that it would have been okay that the theater cheered, and they didn't because they were also underwhelmed by it.
Yeah,
because the crowd claps and cheers for all kinds of stupid things inside of a movie theater. This would have been the one that would have been okay.
My other movie theater, they did cheer.
I mean, because you finally get it, but I feel like it was undersold. Yeah, I feel like we really could have dug deep into that
Stephanie saw it without us.
All three of them could have said it. That would have been great.
Ooh, that would have been cool.
I mean, Russo brothers, give me a call.
Why aren't you hiring us?
They eventually won the battle. If we're just going to fast forward to it. Because, yeah, they find Gamora. Which I assume that's what Guardians 3 will be.
Well, I'm curious.
Finding Gamora.
I'm trying to find if there's a way to...
Yeah, because they were searching for her. And
but still, so then that goes back to the person in the Soul Stone, or did the person you sacrificed on the Soul Stone, how did they come back?
I mean...
If he couldn't bring Natasha back, how does he bring Gamora back?
Right. So, that's what I'm saying. They're just going to keep old Gamora as the new Gamora, and Quill will try to win her over again. I'm curious if Chris Hemsworth's going to be in Guardians 3.
Yeah, so they do win the war. Did anything happen in the fight that you were like, holy crap, or like was there exciting stuff?
I mean, it was great to see Pepper and Stark fighting together. It was great to see Ant-Man punch one of those Chitauri. The worm things out of the air.
What about your wife's favorite scene?
Oh. It was a good scene. I give her crap. It was a good scene. It was so in order to win the fight, they had to play pass the baton with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Right.
I thought it was super cool when Clint had it and then handed it off to T'Challa.
You thought it was
cool? No. Only when he handed it off to T'Challa, because T'Challa was like, hand it to me, because he knew you are subservient to me. Let me get this.
I mean, he had the heart herb. What do you want?
He had what?
He had the heart herb. What's he supposed to do? He's got the heart of the Panther.
Yeah,
I'm just a man.
I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm so happy that T'Challa went and got it, because obviously a real Avenger should be holding that and taking care of it. But
T'Challa's not even an Avenger.
He is now. Yeah, he is. He's just
Nebula's an Avenger,
like a UN Avenger. Yeah, Nebula's included in this. No, new Nebula, not old Nebula. I don't know if I have to make the different distinction, although one of them died. You'll never know who.
It was odd to me how that doesn't kill you.
Yeah, it goes back to the whole...
Anyway.
So they pass it along, and it gets to Spider-Man, who is using every single person he can possibly use, or is getting helped by every single person in some way or another. So he's kind of getting like a really quick introduction to every single Avenger that's happened that he never got to meet.
And the instant kill mode was funny.
Yeah,
when the legs are just like...
just stabbing all of them around him. Yeah, that was really cool. Considering he didn't have to do anything and it just happened.
Yeah.
But so he gets to a point where he kind of falls, and he's like, I don't know that I can do this anymore. And Carol Danvers shows up and blows up Thanos' ship, and then comes down and helps him and says, don't worry, I've got this. And he goes, how are you going to get through all of that? And then all of the women show up. All of the main women show up. Pepper Potts, I keep wanting to say Lady Sif, but not Lady Sif. Valkyrie. Help me.
Mantis
showed up. Gamora.
Scarlet
Nebula.
Witch.
Scarlet Witch, yes, which is a big deal because Scarlet Witch
Okoye
is kind of a badass as well. Okoye and Shuri. So they all show up and they say, "Don't worry, we've got it," and they just obliterate the in front of them and essentially clear out an entire spot for Carol Danvers. So very much a empowering moment. It was a good scene. It was not. I joked around about how, kind of felt forced, but it didn't. It actually
was super forced.
I don't think so. I think it was that whole.
Valerie was on a flying horse and just knew to come down at the right
Well, they
moment.
were all on comms together, so yeah, I can believe that. I think that it was.
Are they all on comms?
Said, Girl Squad Assemble!
It was a good moment for them to possibly and potentially go into something like the A-Force, which is the Avengers, all-female form of like an Avengers team.
I get you. It was forced.
It didn't. I don't think it felt too forced. It was. I mean,
All these women from different groups
We're helping
knew
each
to be
other.
in one place at one time.
yeah. Well, it was.
There's
comms.
no way they were all on comms.
It was comms.
How did Valkyrie get a comm?
She had comm, man. Before she came through the thing, she had a comm.
I mean,
You're a big fat liar.
someone asked if you had eyes on the van, and she's like, yeah, it's over here.
Yeah.
She was
She's
on the.
on a flying horse!
Yeah, but she had comms. No, she's right. Someone said, "Who has eyes on the van?" And Valkyrie's like, "Oh, I got it."
You just don't
So yeah, she does have
like
comms.
it, yeah.
Calmed. Everybody's calmed in the whole thing. Everybody's calmed.
We gave Mantis a comm.
Mantis has the ability to read minds. But anyway, Mantis showing up was useless anyway. Okay, hold on a second. Mantis is literally the worst character
that's
in the whole
how I
thing.
know it was
But-
forced.
But
Mantis
what I'm
was
saying,
like, oh look, they're all going
You know why?
that sounds accurate.
You know why? Because it was like, and I get that you want to do this scene. I completely get it. It was cool, but it was like, if we didn't include Mantis, then she's the one female character that we didn't put in this, so we had to put her in it, and that makes it forced.
In fairness, she did subdue Thanos for a couple
5
months
years ago.
I know, but but she had enough power to subdue him.
She did.
But
So
anyway,
is she taking people out one at a time that way?
she's doing
Guys,
doing what she can.
I've got this one.
She's doing what she can, man. But
I'm just saying that's what made it feel forced to me is the fact that Mantis showed up because she does nothing.
it was not forced. It was a unique and empowering moment where we've focused on these 3/4 guys the entire time, and you get a chance for most of the. Unfortunately, most of them have been supporting roles. If you think about it, you have Valkyrie, you have Pepper Potts, you had Gamora,
And
you
at that
had
point,
Nebula,
we don't
who
have
were
Black
all-
Widow, who was the OG of this girl group.
Yeah, I know, but she's dead. But no, just think about it like this. So all these sidekick or support roles, right? So you have all these support roles. You finally had a film that had a protagonist female, strong protagonist female. She came there. They all came to help out, and like she was kind of like their empowering voice of like, here we don't have to necessarily be sidekicks. We don't have to be on the side. We can be. It was good, man.
We all know women don't support other women.
That can be true at times. No, that can be true at times, but we're not going to dive into that. That can be true at times.
Men either.
But right, I just think that it was a
support
very
Marvel.
good scene. You didn't support me during the Ronin fight. It's a very important scene that builds a future for other female protagonists.
I just don't think it had to be all of. And then Mantis isn't like, hey, is that Gamora? Like you know what I mean? Like Mantis is the only one to me that makes it feel forced.
Things were happening, man.
Everyone
Mantis
else
just
I
showed up
completely
because
get.
she was needed to read minds.
I'll completely accept that we had 3 million comms to give to everybody. Fine.
Not everybody,
Fine.
but these people were all important.
Nobody knew Valkyrie was important.
Yeah, Thor did.
Thor! That was it. Thor and Hulk.
Korg.
Two.
Korg knew. Korg knew.
Did he have a comm?
Korg was there to fight. Korg had comms. Korg was there to fight, man. Korg and Meek walked out of a portal ready to go. They had their revolution ready.
I'll completely move on. Mantis served no purpose there. It
She
could
just watched a bunch of women go, and she.
because
was
you know
following
what?
them.
It could have been like the main, like it could have been Captain Marvel, Gamora, Okoye,
Everybody but you say everybody but Mantis.
Scarlet Witch. No, it could have been those four who
Shuri had to be there, man.
the four that kind of also set the tone in their worlds. I'd have been good with that. Valkyrie is like the Thor's strongest leading woman, Gamora for Guardians, Okoye for Black Panther, and then Captain Marvel. It could have been those 4, and I would have been like, yeah, I get it. All these 4 strong women together. But then
would you believe that 4 of them like fought all those?
I mean, everybody
Chitauri.
was fighting.
Chitauri.
Everybody was fighting. It's not like
No,
it's
man.
not like they had a section.
They all got together. Let them have that moment, man. Like it's one of those things that like just let them
I
have
mean,
the
it's
moment.
just as
You know?
forced as the Captain Marvel stuff.
No, I don't agree with that. I was
Shock.
willing to agree with you when we watched the Captain Marvel. I finally subsided or agreed that you could possibly be right because I took a stance against you at first, and I said, you know what, some of it did feel forced. But I'm telling you, I think that that didn't have a lot of opportunity to have strong females in this movie, and this was their chance, and they took it. And I think it actually did really well. And when I was talking about how they had improved on some of the CGI and stuff, I think they did a really good job of their visual effects with that particular fight in comparison to the Captain Marvel movie, which did have some flaws in their visual effects.
You could have took this down to Captain Marvel and Scarlet Witch.
And you would have believed. No, I know.
They would have leveled that whole.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's only Mantis that bothered me. It's only her because
pretend like she wasn't there, man.
I can't. I saw her like
Well, can't she
immediately.
I know, but like you can't just let her have that win because she's been through a lot, man. She was Ego's pet. She didn't. She was on the failing team that tried to stop Thanos. She just let her have a win, man. She got dusted.
What about the genderless? Groot couldn't have a moment.
Groot did have a moment
When?
when he wanted to watch something happen. What was it? No, what was it that happened that he was like,
the
"I am
knife
Groot." Oh, the knife fight. I am Groot. That was Groot's moment.
Yeah,
Groot's still teenage Groot though, so like he's not gonna have a moment until later on.
He on the sidelines.
Baby Groot had all the moments.
He had right. So Groot has had a lot of moments. He had the "I'm sacrificing my life for everybody" moment. He had the "I'm a little baby walking around dancing" moment.
I just think it could have been the cornerstone women, not necessarily all of them.
Do women scare you, man?
Nah, man.
Just let them have their moment.
I just
No, like I said, I think if anything, I genuinely think that they will have. This will be either a spinoff for Disney Plus or a spinoff for a movie where they have some kind of A-Force situation where it's like an all-woman lead. Oh, we left out Hope. She was also in it. Wasp.
yeah. A cornerstone
Where they'll
for
have.
that section.
Where they will have. If you're upset about Mantis, just pretend like she wasn't there, man. I can't.
Because Nebula could have not been there. Also, to
No,
me.
because that was her redeeming. That was another
Her redeeming moment
for her.
was talking her sister into believing her.
Yeah, but
that
she
I
also
feel
had
like.
to kill herself.
Also a redeeming moment.
I think she wanted to prove that she was strong enough to defeat Thanos.
She did two very important things.
No, but she was there to prove that she was strong enough to defeat Thanos.
I just feel like we had to use Mantis. Like,
You're so stuck on me.
I
The
am.
entirety of Avengers Assemble, not all of them are good.
You know what it was? I feel like everybody had a.
Somewhere out there, the Winter Soldier existed, and literally he just shoots a gun.
I
so.
feel like everybody had a fighting moment, and it was like, I can't not use Mantis. Oh, we got that woman, Xeno in there too. Because even Drax like got behind somebody, was like, "Gah." And then Rocket and Winter Soldier were shooting, and then and again, Captain Marvel could have leveled the ground. Like, I appreciate you women, but I'm good. Like, and then fly, or like go in the air where these people can't reach you. Also, good option.
Nah,
She was
man.
trying to
Mantis,
find
man.
the quantum thing.
It was
If anything, Wasp was forced because Wasp was supposed to be manning that quantum machine.
true. Wasp was supposed to be helping,
Thank you, Stephanie, for making my point.
but no, but they turned it on. But they turned it on, so at that point it was on. That's all she was there for. Was helping get it turned on.
She flew real fast. She couldn't have shrunk it and took it over?
That feels like it would have been bad.
Would that have been forced?
No, you would have shrunk the van and brought it over to.
No, I meant the gauntlet. You already made your way over here.
And you can put a little ant. Put the gauntlet on an ant, and the ant's like, yay, step, and then everybody dies. Anyway,
Back to everybody dying, man. Move.
If an ant snapped,
Oh.
then everybody would die. Actually, everybody would have to be burned by the sun under a magnifying glass.
Feels fair. I mean, don't get me wrong. I also thought the scene was really cool. But it's just...
Hey, at least they didn't start playing I'm Just a Girl. Okay, man.
That is such a very thin line between Thor coming in with the song in Ragnarok and then when Tony Stark and James Rose are fighting to It Takes Two. It's like, I'm Just a Girl's right in the middle of that nonsense. Do you remember that? It's like, it takes two to make a thing go. And they're like hitting each other with like pipes.
Yeah.
It's right in
All
there.
I'm saying is I think it's a good leeway into a great spin-off of some kind, either a movie or show.
Sure.
It was a good scene. It added to the movie. It didn't take away from it.
No. But even the Avengers started with like 4 or 5. This group starting with 15.
Yeah, maybe they'll just take 4 or 5 of them from that group. Because Mantis left. Hold on, because Mantis left. Rescue's going to go back with Tony. So maybe it'll be Carol Danvers, Hope Pym, and because Hope went back with Scott.
Then just have 4 or 5 of them there. Well, Okoye's not going to leave Wakanda.
Sure he might.
Sure he might.
Sure he might.
But she's leading the intelligence.
That'd be
division.
kind of dope, though.
Did
Hold
you
on a
notice
second.
that she got a Black Panther costume?
I did.
Okay.
But we'll be kind of dope, like Captain Marvel and Shuri just traveling around, and jacking stuff up.
Done. Looking for Gamora. Done. I'll leave it to those two in the capable hands.
Poor Mantis. She just wants to be a part of things, man.
I got this guy.
She just wants to be a part of things.
Don't worry, guys. I've got him. You go. You move on.
That felt rather reassuring. I don't know why. Like he was taking care of me.
That's
that
her
way.
thing, man. It's not like she can get 5 at a time.
She
2.
put a couple to
She
sleep.
can't get.
She just sleep.
Doesn't she have to touch them though?
Yeah. Sleep.
Now she's just like kung fu pressure point
Yeah,
master.
you don't know, man. You don't know her life.
She's not put them to sleep long enough for them to trip.
What happened when she was dusted? You don't know. Maybe she was training.
No, because Peter Parker came back and said that
He
he
just
got
woke
dusted
up.
and then woke up, and that doctor guy said, "Come on." That was a funny scene.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you're back. Hey, come on, we gotta go.
Yeah.
Also, then he gets hugged by Stark, and
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, this is nice."
that was a great scene. That was a great scene in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, that was another one of those things where I'm like, "There's still stuff going on, man. Can y'all?
It was a
But it's
long
good.
time.
Can we do that later?" I guess I can't. But
So then, to defeat Thanos, because we kind of skipped over that. To defeat Thanos, what happens is, who ripped out the stone?
Stark. We didn't
Just one stone?
Oh, no,
No, someone-
Thanos did. Thanos took one out and then punched Carol in the
Danvers.
face.
That's right. So Carol Danvers was Captain Marvel was fighting Thanos. Thanos then thought, "Ha
Because she had her own
smart.
because we didn't have enough woman moment. Just kidding on
Don't
that
listen
one.
to
But
Cleve. Took out a stone. Look, ladies, women out there, you don't listen to Cleve. You want to go be a badass? Be a badass.
so support the women, but not your family.
I changed my position on my family. Okay.
No, I'm saying it was cool because that was the big thing, and I appreciate the lack of use of Captain Marvel because
They could have
it
just
was
come in
supposed
and
to be
said,
the
"You."
whole trump card as Captain Marvel was there, and she held her own for a little bit, which was nice because the guys did too.
And then he pulled off a stone and socked her right in the head.
I think it was the power one.
Yeah,
I
it was
assume.
Power Stone. He ripped it off and then punched her, and she went flying into nothingness. And at that point in time, Doctor Strange looks at him, gives him the little one finger up, which was the 1 in 14 million, whatever, billion chances. Yeah. Chances. That was the one. And that was Tony Stark's cue to be like, all right, do everything I can. And so he went and stole all of the... all of the
Took all the stones off the gauntlet.
Just like the scene from Robin Hood when the cartoon, Disney cartoon, when Little John kisses the King John, Prince John's hand, and takes all the rings off. That's what happened basically. And then he goes to snaps, and laughs, and then he goes, "Wait a minute, nothing happened." And then Iron Man has the stones that then integrate into his suit because
Stark Tech.
why not? And then he snaps his finger, and all of
After he
Thanos'
says
army
his
goes
great
away.
line,
Yeah.
What was this great line?
Thanos said he's inevitable, and he's like, "I'm Iron Man."
Oh, yeah, he did say it.
You know,
Iron Man.
I think I figured it out, and we'll quickly move on. The fact that Black Widow couldn't be there, I think, upset me.
But she was dead, man.
I know,
Just like Gamora couldn't be a part of it.
but she was like the female
bro.
of the MCU.
But if you think about it, think about it though.
And you forgot that Gwen was there. Oh, not Potts was there.
Where?
The female.
No, I said
scene.
rescue a couple times.
Oh,
No. Think of because she's also one of the ones that could just kind of make everybody go away. I mean, granted, it's because of the suit she's wearing, but
Yeah.
she was shooting things everywhere, and things were not going well for the Chitauri. No. Okay, so if you think about it, though, and we're jumping ahead, unfortunately, to some other scenes, but the whole point in Endgame is to essentially absolve all of the original Avengers. She is kind of considered one of the original, and that was her being absolved. Like, she made her sacrifice. She's gone for the greater good. Tony Stark snapped his finger, and
Tony Stank.
Tony Stark. He snapped his finger, and because of it, it killed him. Mm-hmm. We'll get back to how touching that was in a second. Mm-hmm. And then other things happened, and other people died. Thor is leaving to just go
because he doesn't with the Guardians, so they can still easily use him.
True, I guess, but he's kind of off doing his own thing now. He doesn't want to be a part of the Avengers anymore.
Mm-hmm. Captain America we'll get to.
Hulk? So then.
Okay. Yeah.
Hulk is Hulk's no longer really the Hulk anymore because he's smart and intelligent. And he doesn't Hulk out. We saw when he went back in time and he was like, he
I didn't really see him fight either.
He didn't really fight. He wasn't helping with Thanos. He didn't help with anything. Mm-hmm. So I think that was his. He was passive.
More like an Amadeus Cho Hulk.
Well, and he's become more of that passive, like, I'm not going to fight.
Because he's got Bruce Banner's conscience, and Bruce Banner wasn't a violent person.
Right.
Even until he's in the Hulkbuster and tears up half of Wakanda, but whatever.
And then you have Clint, who is finally getting to go back to his family.
Mm-hmm. Which I assume he won't take another mission, because you wouldn't want to take that chance.
No.
Unless they're going to give him a Disney Plus show, which I can see.
I think they are.
Yeah.
But, so that's kind of their whole way of getting around it. So, like, or not around it, but completing it. That she made her sacrifice. Everybody's made their sacrifices in some sense. Tony Stark, like I said.
I just feel like for an all-female group moment, for her not to have been there sucks.
But she had her own special moment.
With killing herself?
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, I mean, Gamora was
step out of the way, people.
It was that ultimate. It's the ultimate self-sacrifice of like, I'd rather me go and so that others can live. But so you had Tony Stark snapped his finger. Mm-hmm. He then slowly disintegrates. Well, not disintegrates, but he kind of dies.
Out,
and everybody has their moment with him where like Peter Parker comes running up and is like, "Hey, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay." And he's like starting to realize
Parker and Potts.
Yeah, and they're all starting to realize that lights are getting dim. Pepper comes up to him and says, that really touching moment of like, "Don't worry, we're safe now. You can rest." And he dies. He just died. So yeah, he's dead.
Yep, that was tough.
And I don't think this is one that they're going to bring back because comic books it happens a lot. People die, they come back, but this is
his sacrifice was too great to bring back.
So then we have our moment of kind of confusion, and this is where Cleve gets to brag about how he knows more than I do.
I mean, I looked it up.
But you have his funeral going on, and I'll tell you, I don't have emotions. I don't cry. I don't get upset. I get angry, as you've seen when we discuss Ronin. But I don't get emotional very often. My wife says I'm dead inside because I didn't cry at our wedding. I don't cry at a whole lot, if anything. And I will tell you, the MCU got me almost got me twice. There was one here, and I actually had to take it and flick it away to remind myself that I couldn't have that emotion.
Which was?
That scene. So, unfortunately, it's because I have a kid now, I feel like.
Well, you said twice. So
I'll say the second one in a little bit. But the first one was the scene where they're listening to him, Tony Stark, saying goodbye before he goes into time travel. And he's looking at his daughter, and his daughter looks super tough. Like, she was, taking it okay. Like, okay, Dad, did what he had to do. And then he said something, and she starts
I love you,
kind of
3000.
crawling. Yeah, she starts kind of like leaning into John Favreau. I can't remember his Smiley, right?
Happy
Happy
Hogan.
Sorry. And yeah, he's like, "Oh, I love you 3000" or something, and she starts crying, and I was like, "Well." Like I said, again, the kid looked to me like my daughter, just not dark hair. So it was all white people looked the same.
Or as old. I was going to say as old, but I mean, I guess we can go that route.
I figured that's what Cleve was going to say. He was looking at me like that. So.
I was going to say, obviously, yeah, a bit older of age, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that moment almost got me. And then the last moment.
Yeah, it was tough to... I mean, it makes sense because you knew somebody was going to die. I didn't realize we were going to lose some of the people that we did, but we knew that some people were going to die. I was shocked that we didn't get to bring back Natasha. I was a little shocked that because then we find out that he tried to. I'm a little shocked that Vision didn't get to come back. Because I thought that maybe they would pull something off there, and I guess in a way they still could. Well, no, because we don't have Tony anymore.
But Disney Plus is going to have a Vision and Wanda show, so.
Well, it'll be interesting how they do that without
Vision?
Stark.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, at his funeral, they had the different groups that were sitting there. They kind of separated them.
Yeah, by movie genre, Ant-Man, Guardians, the original core group, and then there was this lanky teenager in the background. I went and looked it up because I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, no idea.
Apparently, it was the kid from Iron Man 3 who he had kind of father figured. Left the whole barn to his father had left him, and he'd kind of become friends with him. He really helped him out during that movie and during that his PTSD time frame.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a cool callback. Apparently, it was the same kid. He's just aged because of the gap in time that movie took from Iron Man 3 to
And somehow
Endgame.
we were supposed to know that.
I'll have to look back and see if he looks familiar.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, and then we go to Captain America returning the stones that Hulk had promised him.
Yeah, the Hulk was really the only one that cared about the continuation of every other timeline. Like, he wanted to make sure they were all stable. Everybody else was good with what they had done.
Because who knows? Because, let's say it, now that Tony's not here anymore, I might as well try to go back and fix other stuff. Tony's the only one that wanted this timeline to be good. So, Natasha, Gamora, Vision, Killmonger. We can bring back whoever we want to now. Everybody gets a turn.
Apparently, it takes a big toll, though, man. So
Well, we get back to the Hulk. He's got a left arm.
just start putting on like his legs.
Yeah. Can you wiggle your toes, please? I've made an infinity boot.
So Captain America goes back and returns all of the different stones.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said,
It's supposed to be like a
nobody
blink of
else
an eye.
cares. Yeah. Oh, it's supposed to be a blink of an eye. It takes it's supposed to be 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Although I'd like to see what had happened at some point in time when he returned some of the stones.
Like the Soul Stone?
Yeah,
That's the big one.
there'd be a great conversation between him and Red Skull.
Give him the finger.
Does Red Skull remember being Red Skull though?
I think so.
I mean, he knows he tried to get the stones, so.
Right, which is why I assume that he remembers his old life.
So it's supposed to happen within a blink of an eye. It doesn't. They kind of think something goes wrong, but Bucky notices that there's someone next to them, sitting on a bench. They go over and look at him. It's some old-looking fella. Looks at him, and they realize it's Steve Rogers.
Yep. Old Steve Rogers.
Old Steve Rogers.
Which I thought the super soldier serum was supposed to keep him nice and fresh.
Well, if you think about it, though, he's lived 2 lifetimes already. Because he didn't... You can't undo what he did.
Yeah.
So he still has already... When he came back, he had gone through all that time and then come back again.
But when did we find him? What movie did we find him?
The 90s. 2000s.
Oh, his movie. But, it was before Avengers, so 2012. 5 years. But yeah.
But anyway, so he has lived his couple lives already. He decided that he's going to, once he had finished returning them all, he was going to live his life out with Peggy, who he had always wanted to. So he got to see what happened if he made his first date.
Are we gonna talk about making out with her niece?
You know, that was a different time, man.
I mean, you did it, but
He never has to talk about it ever.
oh my god, do you have to grow up like with her?
But she would
Like
never
if they're a
know.
child?
But she would, I don't know.
But it still happens.
Timelines suck. I can't deal with the
I
time
made out
travel.
with my grandpa.
The fact that they have inserted time traveling is
Because now
really
does she
messes
even
up.
exist? Because
She would have.
I don't know. Well, it's her niece. It's not her kid, so I guess.
Right.
Anyway, so
If you think this is bad, wait till we talk about Game of Thrones one day.
you know what I want? That's what I want. I want you just to summarize it for me. Like, we'll do episodes. Each episode will be a season. You just summarize Game of Thrones. And I'll try to keep up with what I
I'm
can.
on board.
We have this dry erase board. I want you to write names and be like, dead.
Dead to dead.
I'll rewatch every episode
Yeah.
of Game of Thrones to try to.
I'm down.
summarize it.
And then,
like it.
and then I can be like, huh, yeah. Winter.
Next someone
winter
says
giants.
something about the Red Wedding.
Snow
You're like,
Giants?
oh, I get it. Winter's coming.
Snow giants?
The White
Winter
Walkers.
giants? Sure. Anyway. So, which leads to a moment that I said would never happen.
This is the moment that brought a tear to my eye. It had nothing to do with Peggy Carter. Like, don't get me wrong, that was cool that he got to go back and like they showed a flashback of him dancing with her on their first date when he promised her a dance. But this moment that Clee's about to describe genuinely put a tear in my eye.
I mean, I've gone on record millions of times saying this will never happen. The world's never ready.
And I've fought him on this. I told him every time the world is ready.
You know what? I don't think without. I'll say this. I don't think without Captain Marvel it would have happened.
You think that they're so upset with Captain Marvel right now that we're just going to
No. What I'm saying is, without taking those.
Agreed with Black Panther too. I think that Black Panther happening. I think they've really set themselves up for
Because really, looking at this cast here, of the Avengers, the diversity is here, there,
Yep.
and Rocket.
Yeah, I guess you have to feel good to throw Rocket in, I guess.
Group then, if you're gonna.
Right. Anybody who's human. We'll put it that way. Yeah, so Sam Wilson's like, I hate that I have to live in a world without Captain America, which is what I was thinking. Like, I also was wondering if he's been Captain America back then doing stuff. Like, what's the rules here? Anyway.
Yeah, imagine.
Who knows? Who knows? Because he's not going to see somebody getting beat up and not stop it. But at the same time, like, that whole past has gone on without you. Anyway. And he says, well, yeah, I want to talk to you about that. And pulls out the Captain America shield and hands it to Falcon, which happens in the comics. Steve Rogers gets old, the super soldier serum wears off, and then Falcon becomes the new Captain America.
That was a big hype up. They were like, who's going to be the next Captain America?
I immediately thought I was going to Bucky.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And so then when we talked about the movie, we've said since before Infinity War that this was going to happen. When we heard there was a two-parter Avenger movie coming out, we said they have to bring it all around. Captain America is going to... Our prediction was he was going to get old, become old Steve Rogers, and eventually take over Nick Fury's position, which is what happens in one of the arcs in the comic books. And
Which
that
I
was
guess
where
he
we
can't
then...
now because now Fury's there.
True. We could kill Fury, though.
Back to killing.
He could be... Remember, we talked about how Fury might not actually be Fury, though.
Yeah, but they didn't take
Because
that
of
route.
Captain Marvel. Well, because of Captain Marvel, though, Fury may not be Fury. We still don't know. It could be Loki.
They could still pull it off. And he's going to be in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
But anyway, so Captain America gets old, and it was the dispute about who he would pass the mantle on to. And the comics, he has a son. I don't think they've ever dived into that, although he
Maybe
could.
he does now?
No.
Yeah.
Because Sam asked if he wanted to talk about his wife, because you see that Steve
got a-
Rogers has a ring on. And he says, no, I don't want to talk about it. kind of in like a happy way, not like a oh god something happened. It
Like
was
an
more
old
of
grumpy
a-
man? No, not like that.
It was more of a like haha, that's a story for another time. Let this be about you, and tells him you're gonna be it. And he looks at Bucky. He's like, I don't know that I should be the one. And Bucky's like, no, yeah, you. Like in a nonverbal way, it was just like, give him the kind of the nod.
Like, it's almost like Bucky knew he wasn't coming back.
Yeah,
Because Bucky's also the one that saw him. So it's almost like Bucky understood that what was going to happen, and he was like hugging Steve bye.
yeah, because his was a more of a lingering hug,
Yeah.
like an emotional thing.
So maybe he knew. But Sam Wilson says, I'm going to do everything I can to live up to it. And then Steve Rogers is like, that's how I know you're the right one. Which was just a really cool moment.
Yeah, that was
Which means I'm locked in for Disney Plus now. Because I need to see them too.
Well, it was a big deal. It was we've talked about diversity is not huge right now. Well, they're working on it, but it's not big. And as we've talked about before, Captain America is kind of the poster boy for Marvel, along with probably Iron Man and the four, I guess. But Captain America is a big deal, and for him to suddenly give the mantle to Sam Wilson, when it happened in the comic books, people were very upset. Mm-hmm. People stopped reading the comic; they got all upset about it.
The same way they felt about Homecoming and MJ.
Yep, and how they felt about when, it's slightly different, but when they did an all-girl cast of Ghostbusters, remember? People freaked out. People are not okay with things being different. Yeah, so people were really upset about it when it happened in the comic book, so it's a huge deal and has a big meaning for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. I've not been this excited since Endgame. You know what I mean? Like, now, when Endgame came out, I was like, what else is there to do? Now we've opened portals and portals of different options. And along with the what if stuff. So it should be really good.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited. The only problem I had with the entire film, I think,
Mantis?
one problem I had with the whole film was not Mantis. It was the
Really?
fact that, no, it wasn't. It was when they all went back in the future or in the past, and I want you to explain to me, or anybody in the audience, if you comment down below, how all of them, not all of them, but some, so we had at least Clint and the Hulk both hold raw Infinity Stones.
I think
The other ones had some sort of vessel of some sort. All the other ones held, or those two specifically held raw Infinity Stones.
I think the Soul Stone gets a pass because of what you had to sacrifice for it.
But it's still so powerful that it's supposed to, like, melt you. Yeah, I mean, remember when...
They don't all have that feature. I know the power one does
thought
because
they
of
did.
Guardians.
I thought that did. I thought that was the reason they're inside different things. That's why it's in the Tesseract. That's why it's in the staff. That's why it was in... Well, you said power, the Power Stone, which is that, yeah. And then that's why they kept it inside the...
The Tesseract?
The amulet, whatever amulet. But anyway, so just something to think about. If anybody has a reason out there as to why that happened.
Yeah, the other one I don't know. Maybe because of their feature.
But that's kind of our opinion on it. Let us know what you guys thought down below, or send us comments at our email address. That's friendship.supreme@gmail.com.
All of our social medias are Friendship Supreme except for Twitter.
Twitter is Friendship Supreme without the eyes, because all eyes should be on us. Other than that, did you have a favorite moment?
I had a favorite joke, for sure. It was the America's ass joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the best. He was like, I think you got a great ass, Cap. As
And
far
he,
as
like,
I'm concerned, that's America's
You give a
ass.
big old salute when he did it to you. Like, that's America's ass.
Paul Rudd, man.
Yeah. Paul Rudd's
Whoever thought that he would
great
pick
casting job.
Ant-Man and then run with it?
Yeah, no, definitely a great casting job.
Captain America brought back around where he looked at his own ass
Yeah.
and said, "Here's America's ass."
Captain America did a lot of cussing this time around.
Yeah.
What about you? Anything?
Favorite moment? Oh, man. I think it was when Rescue and Iron Man were fighting together.
Not
It was
not
that
Cor-
or
not
the
Corgan
Sam.
Fortnite.
Corgan Fortnite. Okay, no, hold on. Yeah, that was Corgan Fortnite when he needed Thor to come in and like smack talk for him.
You think
That
he's gonna
was
rip his arms off,
that
whatever?
one. Obviously, that
Thank you,
was
Thor.
that was one of my favorite moments. The other one would be the Sam Wilson. Like I said, that was a super emotional moment. That was
Yeah,
a
for
pretty
sure.
pretty big deal as far as in the community of comic books as well as superheroes. And I'm really excited that they are making that leap and feel that the rest of the world is ready for it as well.
I hope that they give him a movie and not just the show,
Agreed.
but we'll see.
Well, the show's just called Falcon, so I would hope that.
Well, it's called Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, okay, so I'm sorry, it's called Falcon and Winter Soldier, but he's called Falcon in it. I'm hoping he takes.
Yeah, I would assume that's because they didn't want to spoil anything.
But yeah,
Because it's a big reveal at the end. You can't just like, here's the title of the show.
it would have been the best. But yeah, so that was our take on it. Let us know what you guys thought. If you think we're wrong, if you think Ronan was a good guy, if you think Thanos should have just not snapped. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve and Avengers Assemble. Like in the movie.